Welcome to this quick walkthrough of the main workflow. In this video, we will explain how the app works and how it can help you manage working paper files in one organized workspace. We will look at the main flow of the system, from setting up clients and filing cabinets, through to creating working paper files, building the file structure, attaching documents, adding review points, tracking progress, and sharing review files. The aim of this walkthrough is to give you a clear overview of how each part of the app fits together, so you can understand the workflow before using the individual features in detail. The first step is to add a client record. A client can represent a customer, supplier, project, internal department, or any other record you want to maintain working papers for. The client record helps keep related filing cabinets, working paper files, documents, and review activity organized under the correct name. To add a new client, open the New Client page, enter the client details, and save the record. Once saved, the client becomes available throughout the app when creating filing cabinets and working paper files. This makes it easier to group work by client or record type, and helps users quickly find the correct file when preparing, reviewing, or sharing working papers. After adding a client, the next step is to create a filing cabinet. A filing cabinet is used to group working paper files under a client. For example, you may create separate filing cabinets for accounts, tax, payroll, supplier records, project files, or any other area of work. To add a filing cabinet, select the client, enter the cabinet name, and save it. Once created, the filing cabinet becomes available when creating new working paper files. This helps keep files organized at a higher level, so users can separate different types of work while still keeping everything connected to the same client or record. Once the client and filing cabinet have been created, the next step is to create a working paper file. You can create a blank working paper file from scratch, or you can create one using an industry template. A blank file gives you an empty workspace where you can build your own structure manually. A template gives you a ready-made starting point with suggested sections already included. To create the file, select the client, choose the filing cabinet, enter the file name, and then decide whether to use a template. If you choose a template, select the relevant industry and template from the list before saving. After the file is created, it can still be edited. You can add, rename, move, or remove sections as needed, so the file structure can be adapted to match the actual work being prepared. When a working paper file is opened, the page is divided into three main areas. On the left, you have the tree structure. This is where the working paper file is organized into sections and child sections. Users can add new nodes, rename nodes, move them, mark items as not applicable, flag items, exclude nodes from export, and manage the overall structure of the file. The middle panel is the document preview area. When a tree node is selected, any documents attached to that node are shown here. This is where users can upload files, preview documents, open Office files online, view PDFs, and download supporting evidence. On the right, you have the Review Points panel. This area is used to add and manage review points, comments, and replies linked to the selected tree node. It helps keep review activity connected to the correct section of the file. Together, these three panels allow users to organize the file, manage documents, and track review activity from one screen. The left toolbar is used to manage the tree structure of the working paper file. Users can add parent nodes and child nodes to build the file layout. A parent node is used for a main section, and a child node is used for a section underneath it. This allows the working paper file to be organized in a clear structure. The Move Up and Move Down buttons allow users to change the order of nodes. Nodes can also be renamed when the section title needs to be updated. If a section is no longer required, it can be deleted. Users can also flag a node to highlight that it needs attention, or mark a node as not applicable when that section is not relevant for the file. The Exclude from Export option allows users to keep a node in the working paper file but leave it out when the file is exported or shared. This is useful when some information should remain internal. Finally, the Clear Selection button removes the current tree node selection, so the user can reset the view before continuing. At the top of the tree panel, users have additional controls to help navigate larger working paper files. The search box allows users to search for a tree node by name. This is useful when a file has many sections and the user wants to quickly find a specific area without scrolling through the full tree. The Expand All button opens all tree nodes, so users can see the full structure of the working paper file. The Collapse All button closes the tree back down, making the view easier to scan. The Hide Not Applicable option allows users to hide sections that have been marked as not applicable. This keeps the tree cleaner and helps users focus only on the sections that still need attention. The tree panel can also be collapsed or expanded. Collapsing the panel gives more space to the document preview area, while expanding it brings the full tree structure back into view. The toolbar above the document preview panel is used to add documents and manage the working paper file status. Users can upload existing files from their computer, including PDF, image, text, HTML, archive, and Office documents. Files can also be dragged and dropped into the document area. The app also allows users to create new documents directly from the toolbar. Users can add a text note, create a Microsoft Word document, create a Microsoft Excel document, or create a PowerPoint document. Office documents can then be opened and edited online. The File Completion Status button is used to mark the working paper file as complete or closed when the work is finished. The Current Status button shows whether the file is ready or not ready, helping users quickly understand the progress of the file. These controls allow users to add evidence, create working papers, and manage file readiness from the same screen. The Review panel is shown on the right side of the working paper file. This panel is used to manage review points, comments, and replies linked to the selected tree node. When a user selects a node from the tree, any review activity for that section is shown in this panel. Users can add a new comment or review point using the Add button. This allows review queries, notes, and follow-up points to be recorded directly against the relevant section of the file. The Filter option helps users narrow down the review activity, for example by showing review points that need clearing, or author comments. The panel can also be collapsed or expanded. Collapsing the Review panel gives more space to the document preview area, while expanding it brings the review activity back into view. This helps keep comments and review points connected to the correct part of the working paper file, making the review trail easier to follow. In this section, we will look at how to add a parent node to a working paper file. A parent node is a main section in the file structure. It can be used to organize any major area of work, such as customer records, supplier information, contracts, project documents, correspondence, approvals, policies, or any other category your business wants to maintain. To add a parent node, enter the node name in the tree node title box, then click the Add Parent Node button from the left toolbar. The new parent node will be added to the tree structure. Parent nodes help keep the working paper file organized into clear sections. Once a parent node has been created, child nodes can be added underneath it to break that section down into more detailed working areas. In this section, we will look at how to rename a node in a working paper file. Renaming a node is useful when a section title needs to be updated, corrected, or made clearer for the team. For example, a business may want to rename a section for customer documents, supplier records, project files, approvals, correspondence, or any other area of work. To rename a node, first select the node from the tree. The selected node name will appear in the tree node title box. Update the text in the box, then click the Rename button from the left toolbar. The node name will be updated in the tree structure, while keeping any attached documents, comments, and review points connected to the same section. In this section, we will look at how to add a child node. A child node is a section that sits underneath a parent node. It is used to break a main section into smaller, more specific areas. For example, under a parent section for customer records, you may add child nodes for agreements, emails, identity checks, approvals, or supporting documents. To add a child node, first select the parent node where the new section should be added. Then enter the child node name in the tree node title box and click the Add Child Node button from the left toolbar. The new child node will appear underneath the selected parent node. This helps users build a clear structure, so documents and review points can be stored in the right place. In this section, we will look at how to flag a node. Flagging a node is useful when a section needs attention, follow-up or review. It gives users a quick visual indicator that something about that section should not be missed. To flag a node, first select the node from the tree. Then click the flag button from the left toolbar. The selected node will be marked with a flag indicator. If the flag is no longer needed, select the same node again and click the flag button to remove it. Flags help teams highlight important sections, outstanding items, or areas that need further action while keeping everything connected to the correct part of the working paper file. In this section, we will look at how to mark a node as not applicable. This option is used when a section is part of the working paper file structure, but it is not relevant for the current file. Instead of deleting the section, users can mark it as not applicable and keep the structure intact. To mark a node as not applicable, select the node from the tree and click the Not Applicable button from the left toolbar. The node will be shown as not applicable in the tree. If a parent node is marked as not applicable, its child nodes are also marked as not applicable. The same applies when clearing the mark and making the section applicable again. Users can also hide not applicable nodes from the tree view, which makes the file easier to review by showing only the sections that are relevant. In this section, we will look at how to exclude a node from export. This option is useful when a section should remain in the working paper file, but should not be included when the file is exported or shared. For example, a business may want to keep internal notes, draft information, confidential documents, or other sections inside the live file, while leaving them out of the exported package. To exclude a node from export, select the node from the tree and click the Exclude from Export button from the left toolbar. The node icon will change color to show that it has been excluded. If a parent node is excluded, its child nodes are also excluded from export. To include the section again, select the node and click the same button to clear the exclusion. This gives users control over what is included in the exported file, without needing to delete sections from the working paper file. In this section, we will look at how to upload documents to a node. Documents are attached directly to the selected tree node. This keeps each file in the right context, so users can see which documents belong to which section of the working paper file. To upload a document, first select the node where the document should be stored. Then choose a file from your computer, or drag and drop the file into the document panel. The document will be attached to the selected node and shown in the preview area. The app supports common document types, including PDF files, images, text files, HTML files, archive files, and Microsoft Office documents such as Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. If more than one document is selected or dropped at the same time, the app will ask whether all documents should be attached to the selected node, or whether new child nodes should be created for each document. This helps users keep supporting documents organized and connected to the correct part of the file. In this section, we will look at how to add a text document to a node. A text document can be used to record notes, explanations, summaries, instructions, or any information that needs to be kept with a section of the working paper file. To add a text document, first select the node where the text document should be stored. Then click the Add Text Note button from the document toolbar. Enter the text content and save it. The text document will be attached to the selected node and will appear in the document area like other uploaded files. Users can open it again to review or update the content when needed. This is useful when information needs to be recorded directly inside the working paper file without creating a separate document outside the system. In this section, we will look at how to add annotations to PDF documents. When a PDF document is attached to a node, it can be opened in the PDF editor. This allows users to review the document and add annotations directly on the PDF. Users can add notes, highlights, shapes, text, stamps, or other markings depending on the tools available in the PDF editor. These annotations help record comments, checks, explanations, or areas that need attention. After making changes, save the PDF so the annotations are stored with the document. The updated PDF remains attached to the same node, keeping the review work connected to the correct section of the file. If you leave the PDF editor without saving, any unsaved changes may be lost, so it is important to save the document before returning to the working paper file. In this section, we will look at how to add a Microsoft Office document to a node. Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint documents can be created directly from the working paper file. This allows users to prepare supporting documents, schedules, summaries, calculations, presentations, or other working documents without leaving the app. To add an Office document, first select the node where the document should be stored. Then choose the required document type from the toolbar, such as Word, Excel, or PowerPoint. The new document will be created and attached to the selected node. It can then be opened in Microsoft 365 for online viewing or editing. In this section, we will look at how to update the working paper file completion and status. The file status helps users understand the current progress of the working paper file. It can show whether the file is still being prepared, whether it is ready for review, or whether further work is needed. Users can update the readiness status from the toolbar. This helps the team quickly see whether the file is ready or not ready, and whether any sections still require attention. When the work has been completed, the file can also be marked as complete or closed. This confirms that the working paper file has reached its final stage and should no longer be treated as active work in progress. In this section, we will look at how to add comments, review points, and authors' comments. The review panel on the right side of the working paper file is used to record review activity against the selected tree node. This means comments and review points are not stored separately from the file structure. They stay linked to the section they relate to. A review point can be used when something needs attention, clarification, or follow-up. For example, a reviewer may ask for more information, request a document, or ask the user to check a particular item. Review points can also be marked as needing clearing, so the team can see which points still require action. Comments can be used for general discussion or updates. Users can add notes, respond to queries, or leave information for other team members working on the same file. Authors' comments are slightly different. They are used by the person preparing or maintaining the file to explain the work done, provide background information, or record why something has been included, excluded, or marked in a certain way. In this section, we will look at how to link other nodes inside comments and review points. Sometimes a comment or review point relates to more than one section of the working paper file. Instead of typing a section name manually, users can insert a direct link to another tree node. To add a node link, type the @ symbol while writing a comment, review point, or reply. The app will show a list of available tree nodes. As you continue typing, the list will filter to help you find the correct node. Select the node from the list, and it will be inserted into the text as a clickable link. When another user clicks the link, the app will open the linked tree node. This makes it easier to move between related sections and helps keep the review trail connected. A review file is a controlled version of a working paper file that can be shared with a reviewer. The reviewer may be an external user, internal team member, client, supplier, manager, or any other person who needs to review the file without accessing the live working paper file. When a review file is created, the app prepares a separate review version using the current working paper file structure, documents, and relevant review information. This allows the reviewer to open the file, view the included sections and documents, and add review points or replies where allowed. The original working paper file remains under the business's control. Any nodes excluded from export are not included in the review file. In this step, we are looking at the working paper file before creating a review file for a reviewer. A review file is a controlled version of the working paper file that can be shared for review. The reviewer may be an external user, an internal team member, a client, a supplier, or anyone else who needs to review the file. This file already contains review activity. On the right-hand side, we can see one comment and one author's comment linked to the selected node. These comments provide context for the reviewer when they open the review file. We can also see that two nodes, quotations and quotation 1, are shown in red. These nodes have been excluded from export. When we create the review file, the app will use the current working paper file as the source, but it will leave out any nodes marked as excluded from export. This means the business can share a controlled review version while keeping selected sections inside the internal working paper file only. To add a reviewer, open the Reviews section from the menu on the left-hand side. A reviewer is a person you want to share review files with. This could be an external reviewer, a client, a supplier, a manager, or another team member who needs access to a controlled version of the working paper file. On the Reviews page, create a new reviewer by entering their name and email address. Once the review has been created, you can share review files with them. When a review file is shared, the app sends an email notification to the reviewer's email address. If the reviewer does not already have an account, they can activate their reviewer account from the invitation email. If they already have a reviewer account, they can sign in using their existing details. After signing in to the reviewer portal, the reviewer will be able to see the review files that have been shared with them. From there, they can open the file, view the included sections and documents, and add review points or replies where allowed. When a review file is shared with a reviewer, the reviewer can open it from the reviewer portal. The review file is a read-only snapshot of the working paper file. This means the reviewer can view the included tree structure and documents, but they cannot change the original working paper file. On the left side, the reviewer can browse the tree structure and select the section they want to review. Any documents attached to the selected node can be opened or downloaded from the document preview panel. On the right side, the reviewer can add review points against the selected node. A review point can be used to ask a question, request clarification, highlight missing information, or mark something that needs further attention. If the review point needs to be cleared, the reviewer can tick the Requires Clearing option. This helps the team identify which points need a response or action before the review can be completed. The reviewer can also see author comments that were included in the review file. These comments provide context from the person who prepared or shared the file. The reviewer can change the review file status and download the review package if needed. This allows them to review the file, record their points, and keep the review process organized without accessing the live working paper file.